You ever feel stuck? Like there's this invisible wall you keep running into, but it's not coming from the outside, it's coming from inside your own head? Well, that wall has a name. It's overthinking. And today, we're going to learn how to tear it down using some seriously timeless wisdom from the Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius. Let's dive in. Just think about that for a second. What if the real enemy isn't your job or your past or any of your external problems? What if the biggest thing holding you back is that nonstop looping monologue of doubt and worry playing on repeat inside your head? All right, so first up, the enemy in your head. We need to clearly identify what we're up against. See, overthinking is tricky because it feels productive, right? It feels like you're hard at work figuring things out. But in reality, it's just a hamster wheel, a destructive cycle that drains all your energy and leaves you right where you started, completely stuck. And that's exactly how your mind becomes your prison. That loop just takes over. You start replaying conversations from 3 days ago, imagining every possible worst-case scenario for next week, and second-guessing every little decision. And before you even realize it, you're trapped. The bars are made of your own thoughts. So if we boil it all down, what is overthinking at its absolute core? It's this: your mind trying to control things it simply can't control. It's a completely futile effort to manage outcomes and opinions that were never, ever yours to manage to begin with. And this brings us right to a core idea from Marcus Aurelius himself. He just nails it here. He understood that we make this one fundamental mistake over and over. We let what happens out there control how we feel in here. But the real power, the only power we truly have, is over our own mind. But you know, why? Why do our brains even do this to us? It is so easy to blame yourself, to think you're somehow broken. But listen, it is not a personal flaw. It's actually a survival instinct that's been baked into our DNA for millennia. And in our modern world, it's just gone completely haywire. Let's be really, really clear about this. You don't overthink because you're weak. You overthink because you care. You desperately want things to go right. You want to avoid failure. You don't want people to judge you. You care about the outcome. Your brain is just trying to protect you by scanning for every possible threat it can imagine. And this right here is the central conflict. Your brain is essentially running on ancient software. It's hardwired for survival, not necessarily for happiness. Your survival brain is always on high alert, scanning for danger, creating problems to solve. But happiness? Well, that requires peace, growth, and action, the exact things overthinking completely destroys. They're polar opposites. And these are the kinds of fake problems it creates. These questions: what if I fail? What if they don't like me? They're all designed to trap you in a future that hasn't even happened. Your survival brain is basically treating a job interview with the same level of panic it would use for a saber-toothed tiger. It's just not helpful anymore. Okay, so this brings us to the core Stoic solution, and it's actually beautiful in its simplicity. If the problem is worrying about all the things we can't control, then the answer is to shift all of our focus, all of our energy, onto the very few things we can. I mean, just look at this list of what we worry about. What other people think of us. What's going to happen next month. That embarrassing thing you did 5 years ago. Now, just ask yourself honestly, how much of this is actually in your hands? The reality is sobering. This chart says it all. That huge 95% chunk, that's everything outside of our direct influence. The only thing we truly have power over is that tiny little 5% slice, our own mind and our own actions. All that anxiety we feel, it comes from trying to wrestle with that giant uncontrollable 95%. And here it is. This is the key that unlocks the prison door. This quote is everything. If you cannot control it, you must let it go. You have to grant it freedom from your mind. And this isn't a passive thing. It's an active choice. It's a discipline. And I'm telling you, this one idea, if you really practice it, can change your entire life. So if we know that trying to control the uncontrollable is the problem, and that thinking more about it just makes everything worse, well, where does the solution lie? It's not in our heads. It's in our hands. It's in action. This is the secret that every overthinker misses, and it's probably the most important idea we'll talk about. Clarity doesn't come from thinking. It comes from doing. You don't figure out the path forward by sitting still and analyzing it to death. You find the path by taking the first step. Action is the ultimate antidote. It's the circuit breaker for overthinking. The second you take one small, imperfect step, that noisy mental chatter starts to quiet down. The moment you make a decision, that analysis paralysis just loses its grip on you. Your confidence grows not from thinking you can do it, but from proving to yourself that you will.
Okay, so let's get really practical. Let's wrap this up with a toolkit. Think of your mind like a muscle. If you don't train it, it's going to get weak and it's going to control you. So here are 3 simple rules inspired by Marcus Aurelius to help you take back control.
So here they are, the 3 rules. First, limit your thoughts. That just means you don't have to engage with every thought that pops into your head. You can just notice it and let it pass by like a cloud. Second, focus on the present. Not yesterday, not 5 minutes from now, just right here, right now. And third, and this is the big one, whenever you feel that spiral starting, take one small, immediate action to break the cycle. This is really the ultimate realization you have to come to. That constant chatter in your head, it's not reality. It isn't a prophecy of what's to come. It's just noise. And you have the power to just stop listening. And I want to leave you with this final incredibly powerful idea from Aurelius. He says, waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. It's the ultimate shift, isn't it? It's about moving from analyzing to being, from thinking to doing. So let's make this real right now. Don't just let this be another interesting idea you heard. What is one small thing, one tiny action that you've been putting off that you can do today? The escape from overthinking doesn't start tomorrow with some grand plan. It starts with a single step, taken right now. So, what will yours be?